Well, folks, it's time. Got the case of Lord Calvert a little while ago when it was on sale at Damon's local liquor store here in Central Maine because we're trying to pinch some pennies. Come to find out, I got Sam's Club prices without having to pay for the Sam's Club membership. Actually, if you've seen that video, you've seen me rant about it, so I'm going to spare you the repeat. But I'm finally done with stock rotation in the house. Gotten rid of all the good beer. No, not the house. Sorry. Not in the house yet. Hopefully soon. Arsenic in the well, though. So, $5,500 worth of water treatment systems later. We'll be in there soon, hopefully. And there it is. Lord Calvert Canadian Whiskey. It's a blend of choice matured whiskeys, aged 36 months, 3 years, not too bad, Plastic bottles, that's good. Drink enough of this, you're going to be happy you had the plastic bottle. We got 6.5 gallons, 40% ABV, so 80 proof, right on par with most whiskeys. Not much else to say about it. It is what it is, folks. Now, I did say that I haven't had a lot of experience with the Lord Calvert, but I'm not a fan of drinking it straight. I do like to mix this stuff. So I put it out there. I asked you guys for some suggestions as to what to mix it with. We're going to run through... I always cover my face when I'm pouring. I don't know why that is. We're going to run through a couple of those suggestions tonight. Looks about right. By the end of the night, I'll probably be going up to the second line on this tumbler, but for the first drink, we'll go to the first line and halfway to the second. Alright. And first suggestion. Thank you very much, J.M. Diet Mountain Dew. Actually, I believe you said your dad suggested this to you back in the day. And I was looking for a low-calorie option because I'm fat enough as it is. I don't need to be sucking down a ton of Coca-Cola with this stuff. So, Diet Mountain Dew. It'll do you right. Is that what you said? I believe. It's been a little while since I looked at the comments. I probably should have reviewed them before doing this video so I could be accurate, but I think I'm on with that. So, there we go. It's got an interesting color. The brown of the whiskey and the yellow of the Mountain Dew don't quite mix well into anything lovely or all that appealing, but it's not about the color. It's about the taste. If I'm going to be drinking with a Lord tonight, I should probably try to class things up a little bit. So, I found this. It's an old gentleman's hat. Belonged to my grandfather. This is the Knockabout by Stetson from back in the day, and I'm realizing my grandfather may have been a taller man and a bigger man than me, but he had a much smaller fucking head. This does not look cute, does it? Oh well, I'm committed to the bit. I'm going to wear it anyway. Put on the Knockabout, knock one back, drinking with the Lord. Hopefully I'm not praying to the porcelain god by the end of the night. Not bad. Not much of an aroma coming off of it. I mean, it's just a hint of the whiskey. I think I mixed it thin enough that it's not going to be too awful. I shouldn't say awful. It's not an awful whiskey. It's just not as palatable as some of the others I drink. And again, if I'm going to drink a whiskey, I'm probably going to mix this one. I still mix Jack. I don't even drink that one straight. Although, I was down at Cheddar and Rye in, not Nashua, Manchester, New Hampshire, a couple weeks ago on the way to Extreme Brewfest. Cheddar and Rye, awesome place, whiskey bar, good food, great whiskeys. And I got a chance to try the new Jack Daniel's Rye. That one I'll drink straight. It's awesome. But Enough stalling. That's pretty smooth. In that proportion, I barely taste the whiskey, and I know there's at least a shot's worth in there, so, you know, doing better than a lot of bars that you go to. A lot of places, especially chain restaurants, they'll measure out an actual shot into every friggin' mixed drink. At least until you start tipping the bartender really well, and then their hand gets a little heavier. But anyway, yeah, that's good. I can actually even taste the aspartame in it, so I'm not promising that I won't go full on fat ass and just go for the regular Mountain Dew at some point. But the diet's not bad. It was a great suggestion. I appreciate it, Jay. Thank you very much. Yeah, probably should slow down a little bit. I'm going to finish this one up, and we're going to see how many other viewer suggestions we can get in tonight. I've got 2 more. Pretty sure I can get through 3 whiskey drinks without being completely plastered. But we'll see. Maybe I'll dig something up out of the fridge and try one of my own ideas. Alright, I just realized, folks, with this hat on, I need a cane that's about a foot too short, and I'll perfect the image. Anyway, apparently I misspoke. Jay, your dad used to say, set you right, not do you right. So, sorry about that. Next up, though, let's get the Lord in the glass. Yeah, about the same as last time. And we're doing this one with Jolt. Still have a few cans of this stashed away. I don't know if it's ever going to show up again at Dollar General or if it's going to start showing up anywhere else again. But as I've said before, I miss Jolt Cola, but more than that, I miss the Jolt energy drinks. Those things were awesome. They used to come in the same battery can that my NOS and some of the Monsters do now, and they were delicious, and they had a major kick to them. But we'll settle for Jolt Cola. EM Destroyer, thank you so much for this suggestion. Although I suspect the whole reason you wanted to see this done is because you want to see me become a raging freight train of whiskey-fueled and caffeine-driven destruction. Not going to happen, my friend. We are not out on the town tonight. Although if this works out, it might be a nice pre-game drink for the, well, next time I hit the club, which is probably never. But, Jolt. It just smells like a soda and whiskey. Not bad. Sweet. That's actually pretty decent. It's at least on par with the Diet Mountain Dew and Lord. It's got a little sweetness, and the whiskey flavor is just cutting the bitterness that you usually find with Jolt Cola. It's honestly coming around to be about the same as a regular cola and whiskey. Normally Jolt has that little bit of bitterness, and I believe it's based on the caffeine. Could be wrong there, but this is a great blend, and it's going to keep me up for a little while. So, good deal. So far, we're 2 for 2. These are hits. If I had to pick one over the other, though, I would probably go with the Diet Mountain Dew, just for the sake of caloric content. As if I'm sucking down a ton of whiskey with mixers, I don't need a ton of extra calories. I'm going to get them either way, but, you know, the Diet Mountain Dew is a better option than the Jolt overall for that. reason alone. For taste, pardon, I think the Jolt's barely winning out. So, not bad. I said on the first drink I better slow down. I don't think I am. Somebody commented the other day on one of my videos, said, I miss the old 2-hour videos where you used to get shithoused. I think that only happened once. I could be wrong about that. It wasn't quite 2 hours, but you might get somewhat of a close experience tonight. Alright, I'm going to finish this up. I got one more viewer suggestion, and I went rooting around in the fridge, and I think I found something way in the back that I will try as well. Just depends on whether it thaws out or not, because it was wedged in under the compressor for the fridge, so it froze. But I've got it out at room temp right now, and we'll see how that goes. But, yeah. Third viewer suggestion will be coming up when I finish this. Okay, so, next up, we're going to do that little item that I said I found in the fridge. I know it wasn't on my viewer suggestion list, but I'm going to go ahead and get it out of the way, even though it is still partially frozen from being under the compressor in the fridge. You'll see why I'm saving the next one for last. We're going to do the Mountain Dew Merry Mashup. I completely forgot I had one of these sitting around. So, just to get it out of the way, done with, might as well try it with the mix. I mean, it's not like this stuff's going to show up again anytime soon. Ooh. Okay. Big chunk of ice floating in the top. I didn't know if it was going to explode on me. I might have poured that one slightly heavier than the others. Now, just so you know, I haven't decided yet. There's either going to be a couple more suggestions added to this video, or there may be a part 2, just depending on whether I feel like combining them into one. Because here's the thing, as I was filming this, I was talking to my buddy EM Destroyer over text, and I got a couple more suggestions. We got Moxie and Jaeger. Now, by the time I had that conversation with him, I was a couple of drinks in, which means there's no way I should be getting behind the wheel, so I'm not running to the store. I tried getting in touch with old Boosh. He ain't answering, so nobody's running to the store or giving my ass a ride to the store. So, I will follow up on those 2 suggestions. The question is, do I do it as a part 2 to this video, or do I dovetail it onto the end of this video? But then the experience is a little different, because if I do it tomorrow night and I dovetail them onto the end of this video, the narrative isn't the same, because I'm starting off sober again in the middle of the filming, so I have a feeling it's going to be a part 2. That's still got that pomegranate? I think it was a pomegranate and whatever. No, yeah, cranberry pomegranate flavor with natural flavor. So, pomegranate / cranberry. Like that slightly bitter berry aroma, but mixed with a huge amount of sweetness, because obviously they sugar the hell out of the Mountain Dew products. Maybe a little more concentrated than usual, because some of the water's frozen out of that. But not a bad aroma. I can't even smell the whiskey. Yeah, still not my favorite flavor of Mountain Dew, but it does a good job of covering up the whiskey taste in this, so decent mixer. Not that I expect Merry Mashup to show up ever again, because just like the, what did they do last year for Christmas? Oh, I can't remember what they called it, but it was basically a combination of regular Mountain Dew and Code Red. They went with the whole green and red thing mixed together, and it was better than the Merry Mashup. But, yeah, they seem to be doing those different ones every year, so I don't expect Merry Mashup to show up ever again. So, there goes my last bottle of Merry Mashup ever. As far as I know. But, it's gone to a worthy cause. That's not a bad mix. Like I said, still not my favorite flavor of Mountain Dew, but, it's not horrible, and it covers up the whiskey pretty damn good. So, unless I hear from Boosh in the next 30 minutes, maybe? Probably less. These are going down pretty quick. I know, the clock behind me says otherwise, but I've been gaming in between. They're going down quicker than they probably should, based on my level of inebriation. But this one will go down faster, because I'm not gonna... I'll take a break from gaming quicker. Anyway, you guys don't need to know all that. When I'm done with this, like I said, unless I hear from Boosh within the next 30 minutes or so, I'll be doing the fourth and final viewer suggestion for this video, and part 2 may be forthcoming later. We'll know by the time I sit down to the next one. I'll tell you then. Which will be in about 10 seconds for you, but some indeterminate amount of time for me. Okay, so, like I said, I saved the best for last here, and regular viewers of the channel know what's coming. Somebody, thank you very much, TJ, posted in the comments that I should try the Lord Calvert with the Allen's Coffee Brandy. My own personal nemesis, but here it is, in the fancy-looking new label plastic bottle, versus the ugly-ass classic label, I guess? I don't know. Now, last time I did the Allen's with something, I mixed it 50-50, and I used this little 1/8 cup, because it's 30 mLs, 30 milliliters, which is roughly 1 ounce, and because I failed to do my research, I assumed that 1 ounce was 1 shot. I guess a shot is actually more equivalent to 1.5 ounces, a jigger, I think. Yeah, that's the other term for it, which is actually 44 point something milliliters. But you know what? For the sake of measurement and keeping things even, I'm going to go ahead and do 1 ounce instead of 1 shot of each. Honestly, at this point in the evening, I'm probably better off doing that anyway. Now, interesting though, that 1 ounce actually, it almost comes up to the first line on this cup, so I guess I've been assuming wrong about that too, but hey, who cares, right? Exact measurements aren't always necessary. I'm just going to let it fall down into the glass. And yes, I could have gotten a nip of the Allen's, but honestly, it's cheap enough, and I know I'm going to need it for other stuff at some point, so might as well get the whole bottle, right? I did not invest in the half gallon, which would have been a more economical choice, but, you know. Honestly, I don't really need that much of this stuff sitting around. Making a mess here. I didn't quite make it into the sink. It's hanging out behind the faucet, but that's okay. I'll move it in a minute. Okay. Some of that is the fact that it's chilly in here. Some of that is my innate revulsion causing me to spasm a little bit. It smells like Allen's coffee floor polish. And the Allen's is bad enough on its own, but when you just add straight whiskey to it with nothing else to buffer it, it's just... TJ, you son of a bitch. I think I already said that once. I hope I already said that once. Here it goes. Wow. It's weird. I'm really getting a lot of alcohol burn. And that's probably a blessing in disguise, because it's covering up whatever the foul concoction you want to call Allen's and Lord Calvert is. It's honestly like a far more boozy Allen's coffee brandy. The whiskey is muted enough by the sweet coffee flavor and the syrupy consistency of the Allen's that it's actually not coming through except in terms of pure alcohol burn. So I'm not getting a really horrible flavor combination. I mean, it's no worse than Allen's. But that's the flavor. The burn is pretty severe. And it's magnified beyond what the straight whiskey would be. And I don't know how that's possible with the syrupy nature of the Allen's and the sweet flavor of it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's got enough of an alcohol burn on its own when you drink it straight. But this is more severe than either of the two separately, and I'm pretty sure you noticed the change in my voice after the first sip. Because it's basically, like I said, it's like Allen's coffee brandy with a severe alcohol burn, which it's got a little bit of it on its own, but this is far more magnified. This is probably going to get finished right here and now instead of drank slowly, because honestly, I don't know. It's like the syrupy sweetness of the Allen's is fading pretty rapidly, and all I'm left with is that severe alcohol burn and all the negative aspects of the Allen's with none of its questionably redeeming qualities. It's not good, and I will not be doing this voluntarily again. It's making my balls itch. I don't know if you can see this little motion where I'm scratching them, but don't ask me how that's possible, because everything is absolutely unpleasant about it, and I have no idea why it's making my balls itch, but apparently the filter is completely off at this point. You're welcome. I'm sure you enjoyed that mental image. Actually, you know what? I know there's at least one viewer who does enjoy it. Sorry. You posted a comment saying you'd like to see me do my reviews naked. Nobody wants to see that shit. Well, except you, if you're serious. I ain't naming names. You know who you are. It ain't happening, by the way. Nobody wants to see the man titties. And wow, I said the filter was off. I wasn't fucking kidding, was I? It's funny, I didn't feel that open and exposed when I started this bit, but apparently this drink has hit me hard and fast. So best to finish it up here. Well, I've had worse experiences, but that was definitely in my bottom 10. I didn't say top 10, because bad experiences would be on the bottom, so that's in my bottom 10. So thank you very much, TJ, for that viewer suggestion. I'm probably going to follow this up with one more drink for the evening. I'll be back in a minute after I've rinsed out the glass, drank a little water to cleanse the palate. And I think I've made a decision as to what my regular mixer for the Lord Calvert's going to be. And I'll check in with that when I'm done, you know, doing the stuff I said I was going to do. Alright, well, as I said, I think I've decided on my regular mixer for the Lord Calvert, and I'm going to get to that in 1 minute. I did have a couple of other, as I mentioned before, viewer suggestions that came through as I was doing this video, because I was chatting with EM Destroyer on the way. And so at some point I'm going to do a follow-up. I'll do a part 2, and Moxie is on the menu, as well as Jägermeister. And I'm opening it up right now. Hit me up down in the comments and the email link down below if you've got some further suggestions you'd like to see me try and mix this stuff with, because I ain't running out anytime soon, am I? So, Jaeger and Moxie are on the list. They didn't get done tonight because I tried to text Boosh and ask him to come by and either give me a ride down to the store or drop off a nip of Jaeger and a bottle of Moxie. I don't know if he's actually currently at work or if he just didn't feel like answering and entertaining my idea tonight. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you guys his phone number so that you can text him right now as you're watching this video and tell him that when I summons his ass, he needs to respond, because the viewers said so. Now, he's got 2 different phones. He's got his old personal phone. Now he's got a new phone that his job pays for. So I'm going to give you that work phone number, because that's his primary means of communication these days. It's what he uses in our group text messaging and all the other messages we hear from him. And so again, Boosh's phone number, so that you can text him right now and tell him that he's required by the viewers to respond when I summons him, is yeah, I'm not that much of a dick. I'm not actually going to do that to him, but I guarantee you up until about 5 seconds ago he was shitting his pants thinking I was going to. So, anyway. I don't know if you caught that, but the Allen's Coffee Brandy is still making my balls itch. Not that you wanted to know that or get reminded of it. But, anyway. Let's get back to the original point. I have found what I believe to be my standard mixer for the Lord Calvert. Pending investigation of further viewer suggestions that I encourage you to post down below in the comments or the email link, in addition to Moxie and Jägermeister, which I will have for part 2 of this video, and I don't know when that'll get posted, but eventually it will. But I believe my regular mixer, despite what I said about finding something with a lower caloric content for my fat ass, I believe it's just going to be regular old reliable Coca-Cola. Now, when it comes to sodas, I am a Pepsi drinker because it's got a little bit more bite than Coke. I find Coke to be sweeter than Pepsi, but Pepsi's got this, I guess you could say, citric acid bite to it. It's just got something slightly different. But when it comes to mixed drinks, I prefer the Coke because of its smooth sweetness versus the Pepsi's got this nice sweet flavor with a bite. And if I don't watch myself, I'll harp on that and keep going all night. So that's all I'm going to say about it. Coke is a smoother, sweeter mixer for whiskey and other mixed drinks than Pepsi is. Which doesn't mean to say that I am opposed to using the Pepsi if it's all I've got on hand. But, you know, when Coke's on sale, I'll grab a 2-liter of that and I'll mix it with the whiskey. Now, it's my go-to mixer for Jack. Just felt awkward pouring it that way. That feels awkward too. I'm going to just leave it there and I'm going to do the two-handed pour. When the bottle gets lower, I don't need to do the two-handed pour because I don't feel like I'm going to spill it. But right now, I can do the one-handed pour when it's lighter. See, I'm just on that cusp where I know I'm about to start rambling and I'm trying to stop, even though I've rambled about some other stuff before in this video. But, Jesus. Anyway, I'm going to do the two-handed pour because it's a little smoother and there's less chance of spilling. But when this bottle gets lighter, it'll be ready for the one-handed pour. The hiccups are trying to break through. I'm doing my best to tamp them down now. Anyway, smooth, sweet Coca-Cola is my preference for any whiskey mixer, whether it be Jack, this Lord Calvert, or several other things. But there are exceptions. 7 and 7. 7-Up and Seagram 7? I can't even remember. There's a somewhat clearer, less colored whiskey. 7 and 7. What the hell? That's 7-Up and... Is it Seagram 7? No, Seagram's has like wine coolers and shit. What am I thinking of? What's the 7 and 7? I don't know. Crown and Ginger. Crown Royal is pretty damn good. And I used to mix it with Coke whenever I get it. But then EM Destroyer, coming up again in this video, introduced me to Crown and Ginger, which his ex-sister-in-law introduced him to. And he said it was surprisingly good, and I tried it one day, and it was actually pretty damn good. 7 and Jack isn't bad either. Ginger and Jack isn't bad either. I accidentally ordered that one night at a bar at a wedding I went to. Anyway, Coke with most whiskeys, unless it's a whiskey of high enough quality that you're going to drink it straight, without exceptions. Canadian whiskeys like Crown, Ginger works good with it. Might have to try the Lord with ginger. I'm going to make a note. I'm going to get some ginger ale to try the Lord Calvert with. Anyway. Jesus Christ. How many different tangents have I gone off since pouring this? Lord Calvert and Coke. Neutral aroma. I don't even smell the sweetness of the Coke. And at that volume of whiskey, I did pour that a little bit heavier than I did some earlier drinks tonight. With the Coke, it's honestly a little bit smoother than Jack and Coke, because there's not as much whiskey coming through. Jack's, I know I keep defaulting to Jack because that was my whiskey of choice back in the day when I could spend 2.5 times, yeah, 2.5 times as much, because this was $14.50, $15.50. Let's say $15.50. Let's just say $16 for the sake of argument. Twice that would be $32. And the half-gallon of Jack, the lowest I think I've ever paid for that was... crap, it was just under 40, I think, so 36. So let's just say, for a whiskey that cost half as much as the Jack that I'm used to, this is actually a smoother drink with equal volume of whiskey versus Coke than Jack and Coke, because Jack has a little bit more flavor and character overall than the Lord Calvert, but this is going to go down smoother. All things being equal, I'd rather have the Jack, but as I mentioned before, with the mortgage looming, I am drinking on a budget. Okay, that's enough of that. Bottom line, you saw what I had to say about the mixers with this. The Allen's Coffee Brandy, the Mountain Dew Merry Mashup, the Diet Mountain Dew, and the Jolt Cola, and now just the regular old Coke. I don't think I left anything out there. I hope I didn't. So, once again, I'm going to put out the call. In the follow-up video, I will be doing Moxie and Jaeger as mixers. And then I will also be doing ginger ale, as I said before. So there's 3. Hit me up down there. I was pointing before I even mentioned it. Yeah, I'm good and drunk. Hit me up down below in the comments or the email link if you've got further viewer suggestions for mixers for this stuff. If it's within reason, I will try to get it. Remember, I am in Maine, so regional stuff outside of New England is probably not going to be easy to find. And I will do my best, like I said, within reason to accommodate you. So, let me know what you think I should mix it with. Maybe Coke will be on the outs at some point if we find something better. That ginger ale's probably, let's be honest, Moxie and Jaeger. Somebody just wants to see me suffer. You fucking prick. I love you anyway, buddy. But those suggestions are shit, and you know it. I'm gonna do them. But you're welcome. In advance. Thanks for fucking me in the ass without lube. Did I say that out loud? Yes, I did. Anyway. Within reason, hit me up with further suggestions, and I will do what I can to accommodate you. But Moxie, Jaeger, and ginger ale are in the running now. That will be part 2 in a follow-up video at some point in the future. But for now, Coke is the leader. And that Allen's shit is still on the bottom of the list. But everything else in between wasn't too bad. So, if you didn't completely hate all the rambling drunken nonsense. Hit me up down below with a like and a share. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Those shares the most important part. Sharing the video gets the word out, helps grow my subscriber numbers. Maybe I can start making some money off of this channel again at some point. I did get a $100 check from YouTube a little while ago, which I invested in a nice bottle of whiskey, but that was back when I needed far fewer subscribers. Now, in order to even make pennies a week, I have to have 1,000 subscribers. Alright, I've bitched about this in the past, and I'm not going to get on to that tangent tonight. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's talk in the comments. What'd you think about the video? Got any viewer suggestions for mixers? Till next time, folks. Pardon. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed my drunken ramblings. Cheers, bitches.